What is going on, YouTube people? Neo here, recording late on Saturday night. I waited for the Bucks-Hawks game to finish. If you hear loud noises in the background, we could play the wonderful game, gunshots or fireworks. I'm going to go with fireworks. But happy 4th of July, everybody. America Day for all you people in the United States. It is America Day. Drink some bad beer on a lake somewhere, eat some barbecue, and make some things explode. Maybe shoot some guns off into the air or something. Yeah, that sort of stuff. Everybody have an absolutely great holiday. Hopefully the weather is good. It's not too hot. Eat some burgers, eat some brats, eat some hot dogs, the whole 9 yards. I have a lot of things. I covered a lot of it during the live stream yesterday. I would highly encourage if you did not catch the live stream yesterday. I ended up going 2 hours. The first half of it is me giving thoughts on Card Collector 2 Trade Night. I'll give you the quick here. It was an absolute blast. It was extremely busy. Not quite as busy as last time, but still packed. And I think that says a lot because it was the Friday of a holiday weekend and the weather was perfect yesterday. It was 75 degrees, partly sunny, absolutely gorgeous day. And his shop was packed from the time I got there at 5:30 until the time I left at 10:45. It was busy the entire time. But highly encourage you to check out the live stream from yesterday. First half is me talking about that, some thoughts. I go through what people were looking for, what cards people were looking for of mine, what cards I got asked about the most. And then the back half of that, the last hour or so, and I don't know, I'll see how it does. I may pull this out and post it as a separate video. But if you're not interested in the front half, the back half, the back hour and 10 minutes, I have Sam from Women of the Hobby on and Dakota from Sports Card Anonymous on. They were in chat talking. We were talking. I said, hey, if you guys want to pop on, I'll send you the link. They said, sure. They popped on. We had a wide-ranging conversation for close to an hour, if not more than an hour, about a number of different topics. Grading companies, Olympic plays, LeBron stuff, shows, the National, the Atlanta show, the Dallas show, all sorts of shenanigans. Really good talk with them. So obviously, highly encourage you to go check out their channels. Check out that video from yesterday. First 45 minutes was the card talk stuff and also a big eBay rant. I'm going to hit it here again too because I'm still irritated about it. I bought an Ohtani BGS 9.5. I think it was a Min Gem purple refractor 2018 Topps Chrome out of $299 for $750 on Thursday morning. The guy had it originally posted for $875. We went back and forth on it on prices. He said 7. I said 7. He said 750. I said deal. Close the deal Thursday morning. Friday rolls around. The card still has not shipped yet. Saturday rolls around. The card still hadn't shipped yet. Friday night, Ohtani hit 2 home runs. Friday night, Ohtani's card prices went way up. Guess what happened Saturday afternoon? I get your eBay order has been canceled. The item was lost or out of stock. Yeah. I have messaged the seller. I do not expect to hear back from him. If I do, or her, if I do not hear back from them, I will be making their name public to put them on your block list. I was annoyed for multiple reasons. One, the deal was obviously consummated 2 days before his prices went up. The thing that really made me mad, it wasn't so much about him not sending the card. It was that it dragged on for 3 days. Because then I had almost $800 tied up with that card. So I missed out on another card that I was looking at that was up on my slabs for $800 that I was going to buy, but I bought this Ohtani instead, and that card has since sold. That was also $800 I could have used at trade night on Friday night to potentially make plays. So there was a definite, for sure, opportunity cost from having the 800 tied up and gone. If the Ohtani was coming, it all would have been perfectly fine. I wanted the card regardless. It was a perfectly fair price based off all the recent comps. But because he hit 2 home runs on Friday night, is I'm guessing the reason why the guy canceled the sale. So once again, I am going to give him time to respond and see what happens. But if he does not, there will 100% be you should probably go block this person on eBay. They don't sell a ton of sports cards, but they have other sports cards on their account. So we will see where that goes. I'm still extremely tilted about that. Uh, Obviously, sports card news wise, there was a million things that happened last week. I don't want to rehash them now because it'll bog down this entire video. That's not. It's been covered. I posted multiple videos on it. I know this is kind of the news recap video and charts and graphs, but there was so much stuff. I could do a whole 20-minute video just talking about all the nonsense from last week. The only thing that I did not mention, and I may actually do a separate video on this. This came out today, I think. Card Porn posted from another IG account, and I do not remember the name off the top of my head. Gem something. But they track PSA pop report data, and there was some very interesting information in there. I have not had time to look through it. I was very busy today. This is on Saturday. So I just haven't had time to really dig into it, but it was very interesting. You guys should all be following Card Porn. Check out his account over there. So yeah, the Hawks are out. I waited to watch. I was waiting to record. Got ready to record. Then the Hawks made a run, and now they're out. So we're going to talk about a lot about their players in the charts and graphs. This is going to be basketball heavy with a little bit of baseball and just a general football talk. But mostly basketball because I was not able to do the NBA market recap video on Friday with the playoffs like I have been because of all the news that happened last week. First up, and this has been covered. Brad, the Comeback Card Investor, talked about this on IG. It's been talked about a few other places. LeBron Topps Chrome, 2003. I just bought one a few weeks ago, almost a month ago now. This card is 100% on the move. I could tell you, for those that did not see the live stream, I brought my PSA 8 with me in case someone had a 9 and I can trade into a 9, because I would have potentially, depending on what the deal was. And I could tell you just about every person that interacted with me asked about the LeBron Topps Chrome PSA 8. There were other people there that had LeBrons. I saw a couple 7s. I saw a couple PSA 8s. Everyone was asking about them. Everyone was looking for them. So about a week ago, a little over a week ago, Gary V was on, I forget what video, but talked about, basically straight out said you should be buying LeBron Topps Chrome PSA 10s. Sasha T's been talking about him a lot on IG, saying that he's looking to buy him. Has made posts showing them off as well. The LeBron Topps Chrome pump is on. Because frankly, they probably got a little too cheap. And this is kind of what happens. This stuff dips down, and then a bunch of people go, that got way too cheap. We should be buying this. And this is what happens. So it's definitely on its way back up, but there is an interesting angle on this. So I have LeBron Topps Chrome up. I have pulled PSA 10, PSA 9, PSA 8, BGS 9.5, and BGS 9. Because to cover all the different price differences. You can see the charts here. You can see the blue line going up as the 10, the orange line is the 9.5, and then the other ones. So let's go down here. The PSA 10, and I ran this from the 25th. That's the day that he spoke on this. On that day, it was 13K, just under 13K. It is currently at 18K, up 40%. The BGS 9.5 was 5K, is now up to 9.3, up 78%. So the 10 and the BGS 9.5 have skyrocketed the last 8 to 10 days. Here's the interesting part, and here's where the data tools come in handy. Link down below with discount code if you want to check out Market Movers. But this is exactly why I like stuff like this. And the fireworks are going crazy right now. PSA 9 is only up 4%. PSA 8 has basically stayed flat, and BGS 9 has basically stayed flat. This is what we used to see all the time. Not all the time, but when cards go up, the PSA 10 leads the way, followed by the 9.5, and then the other stuff gets dragged along at some point in time. If you are looking for an entry level LeBron, a PSA 8, a PSA 9, a BGS 9, something in that sub 3K range, PSA 9 is getting up to 3,700, but you have the 8 and the BGS 9 that are still pretty affordable. I would not be surprised if those start moving as well. So if you've been on the fence about one, this could potentially be the time, or you might be waiting for a little while again. Who knows? It could come right back down again. What the hell do I know? You know, it's your money. Do whatever you want with it. Do your research. See what you think. Get the vibe in the room. But the PSA 10s, the BGS 9.5s have moved. The PSA 9, the PSA 8, and the BGS 9 have not. They have stayed flat. I don't know if this will trickle down to other stuff. A lot of times when LeBron stuff takes off, it trickles down. Do we see KD start to move? Do we see LeBron's other cards start to move? Or is this just unique to this? I've been saying for a while, I think the LeBron James Topps Chrome will be one of the cards of the National that everyone is looking for and may spike in price. Flipping Steve said the same thing based off what he saw at Philly, and that was a few weeks ago. Everyone was looking for LeBron Topps Chromes. So everyone was buying into it, and then all it took was Gary V to talk about it, and guess who's going to the National? Gary V. So we will see what happens with this, but he clearly still has the power to shift things. Not surprising at all, but public service announcement. If you are looking for a LeBron, now may be the time if you've been wanting one. Chris Paul. Suns are in the NBA Finals and now playing the Milwaukee Bucks. Another interesting one here. So we've talked about this Topps Chrome before in the past. To me, this is his go-to base rookie. He has some other stuff out there. There's a paper Topps. There's an NBA Hoops. And then obviously refractors and stuff. But to me, the Topps Chrome is the basic general base rookie. Not high pop. 240 10s, 273 9s. Same thing here. Only 2 10s have sold so far, but they're up 28%. I actually had to run this back 14 days because only one had sold, and I wanted to see how much it went up since the last one sold in the last 7. So over the last 14 days, the 10 is up 28%. The 9 is only up 8%. And this gap, in my opinion, is too wide. 1,600 versus 400. Now, we've talked a lot that no matter what happens, no matter who wins, their prices are probably going to go down. I think Chris Paul might not be the case for that because this would be a legacy title for him that kind of cements his place as one of the all-time best players. Wherever you want to put him on that list, I'm not putting him like top 5 or anything crazy like that, but he is regarded as one of the best point guards to ever play the game. And then him getting an NBA title would kind of lock in that legacy. The reason why I don't think his stuff will drop or maybe not drop is partially because of that. And also it's just not high pop. There's not a lot of stuff to flood the market when you only have 243 PSA 10s. I could be wrong, but if you're looking to get into some CP3 for some NBA title, NBA championship game action, the PSA 9 looks a little too cheap for me. All the buy it nows are listed higher than 380. There are a couple auctions. I don't know what they're end at. There's a good chance they go over 380. You may not be able to find one for this price, but those are the numbers as we sit. Let's talk about Giannis in a second. Devin Booker also shifting up over the last few days. Started the week at 950, ends the week at 1220. There's been a few sales lower than that, and then there was a couple. I was actually looking at this because I thought that seemed kind of high. But there was one $1,400 sale. I don't know that I buy this. For buyer feedback, fixed price when all the other ones weren't going quite that high. So we have a 1049, an 1100, 1100, and a 950. Leading up to that, everything in July was around 1100. So I don't necessarily buy the 1400 comp. That's why it's always important to look at some of this stuff. And some of this stuff gets cleaned up after the fact. That very well could be a legit sale, but I'm going to say that the comp on this is around 1100. So it's still up about $100, give or take, with the room to go. Here's the thing, and we'll talk about Giannis in a second. The Bucks are obviously in the playoffs, but we still don't know Giannis's status yet. Supposedly, he did some on-court work on Saturday, but that was all that they said, and we don't know what that means. Does that mean he dribbled the ball, shot free throws, or did he like run wind sprints or full 5-on-5? We have no idea. But I'm guessing it's not much. I haven't seen many details come out about that yet, but there's a good chance the Suns are your NBA championship team. I just don't see, unless Giannis is 100%, I don't see how the Bucks beat the Suns. I really don't. The Suns team seems really good, and they're going to be well rested going into that series. So Devin Booker stuff could be primed to go up. I've mentioned this multiple times before, and I will full disclosure. I have one listed for sale. I have mine listed higher than everybody else's. But if you are really desperate for a Devin Booker Prism rookie, they are way cheaper on StarStock. They are currently a bunch listed for $870, and they're going on eBay for $1,100. Now, it's a little risky because you have a tight window. I mean, they ship home stuff tight, and you're basically going to break even unless you think his stuff's going to keep going up. But if you really want a Booker rookie, check other selling platforms. Anytime you're looking to buy a card, you should be checking eBay, MySlabs, and StarStock. Before you check all three, you should not be buying the card. At least look at all three, because there's deals to be had at all three. I thought I had a really good deal on the Ohtani. I potentially, I don't even want to jinx it. I've mentioned it a couple times already. I'm not going to mention the specific card. I have another bigger card potentially coming that I got on my slabs for a killer deal. Knock on my desk. So we'll see what happens with that coming to a video near you. Hopefully that the card shows up. So we'll see. Continuing on the Suns train, DeAndre Ayton stuff way up. Base Prism up 35%. Silver only up 4%. A little bit slower movement on that. But his base has definitely been on the move. I've said it a million times. He's looked absolutely fantastic. One of the most improved players of the playoffs. Fear the deer. Giannis. He's the only real superstar player on that team. I don't want to play the Chris Middleton, Drew Holiday, Brooke Lopez rookie card game. If you want to do it, there's probably money to be made there. It's not for me. Of Giannis's cards, the only one to significantly get a bump was the Hoops PSA 10. Went from 512 to 600, which it's been around 600 for a lot of this playoffs. It dips down, then goes back up, kind of depending on the Giannis shenanigans. I've always really liked this card for an entry-level Giannis card. So the interesting question is, this came up at trade night on Friday night, and I didn't really have a great answer, and no one really did, to be quite honest with you. And I forget who asked it. And by the way, I should have mentioned this at the beginning of the video. Shout out to everyone that came up and said hello. That was absolutely fantastic. I love talking to all you guys and girls. It's a great time. Really appreciate everyone that come up, had some nice comments, asked some questions. It was fantastic. But I don't remember who actually asked this question, if it was one of my viewers or just, a bunch of people just hanging out. What if the Bucks win the NBA title, but Giannis doesn't play in the series? He's hurt for the entire series or plays like one game or something crazy like that. What does that do for his stuff? I really don't know. Technically, he has the ring. I feel like people would hang that over his head forever, that he has it, but it's like a fake ring for him to a degree. It's not, but you know how the internet is. I'm just taking this from the perspective of how much crap LeBron takes for NBA Finals stuff. And if the Bucks win a title, but he doesn't play, how does that affect the way people view his cards and him as a player, just in general? And like I said, I don't know the answer. I really don't. But it was an intriguing question. So if you have a great answer, please leave it in the comments down below, because I really don't have one. That one befuddled me. Moving right along, Trae stuff has been taking a dip since he got hurt. This series, it makes me so mad that he turned his ankle on that ref's foot. I really wanted the Hawks to make the finals. I feel like they got a little bit cheated on that. I know, obviously, the force kind of balanced itself out with Giannis getting hurt, but that sucks too because I don't want to, like what we were just talking about, I don't want to deal with those issues. You know what I mean? I want the finals to be both teams at relatively full capacity. I don't want some weird cloud hanging over it. But the Trae Young injury was unfortunate, and then follow that up by the Giannis injury. The Hawks were a super young team. They probably did not belong in the Eastern Conference Finals, but it was really cool to see them there. And Trae has impressed me. He would definitely be an offseason target for me. That team is good. That team is young. And in my opinion, they didn't have their second best player in DeAndre Hunter. Bogdanovich had a bad knee, and Trae Young missed 2 games and looked okay-ish tonight. But definitely slowed down in the fourth quarter the longer he played on it. His stuff is dipping. Base Prism down 15%, Silver Prism down 5%. I assume this takes a harder hit next week as we now move into a full week after they've been eliminated. I think a lot of that was starting to get baked in already. I am curious to see how much he dropped because a lot of people seem impressed with how well he played and carried that team. To me, he went to a new level in my book in regards to how I look at him and look at his stuff moving forward. So, moving right along, we're going to transition over to baseball really quickly. Wander Franco. Oh, Wander. So I made that lovely video the day that he got called up. I recorded it the day he got called up. Of course, that night he hits a home run. I said at that point in time, you should probably sell all your Wander Franco stuff. I recorded that prior to the home run. It made even more sense after he hit the home run. Most people agreed. I caught a lot of flack in the comments, like you do, which is fine. But yeah. So let's kind of just check in on his numbers real quick. So this is from the 23rd, which I believe is the day that he hit the home run, through today. His stuff is down. And when I say his stuff, we're looking at his first Bowman Chrome. His stuff's down 33%, down $112. Started at 330 as its high point, and is down to 220 now. Yeah. I don't like to say I told you so because I get plenty of stuff wrong, but this is the reason why I said sell his stuff because this was 100% in play. Now, don't get me wrong. He can come out next week, be on fire. It goes right back up again. The point was, this was in play. And for him to maintain those prices, he would need to play out of his mind. He did for 1 game. Once again, his stuff could absolutely shoot back up again. And guess what? If you want it to, remember how we talk about this. Remember, there's no rules or laws against this. I checked. I went and looked in the sports card laws and rules to live by. I went to the sacred text. It's not in there. This rule is not in there. So you could do this. You're allowed to buy the cards back again. So if you wanted to, you could have. Now, sure, there's like 10% fees and shipping and taxes, but everyone does it different. Some people buy offline, whatever. You could have sold for around, let's conservatively say, around $300. This card was at $300 for multiple days. You could have sold for $300, and at one point you could have bought it back for $200, and you probably could have made a nice $50 profit to higher, depending on your buying situation and selling fees. Risky, sure, but just based off of where his prices went to and how fast they got there, he would have needed to play nuts to maintain that price. He could be an all-star player in the future. He could be great. This card could be a $500 card in a year. But it's not right now. We'll see where it goes from here. I will be very curious to watch it. So this is the market is the market. This is what it does. Continuing on with baseball, Ohtani. Still a little salty. I'm going to be salty for a while about that. He's insane. He is absolutely insane. I said to sell him before the season started. I still feel good about that because injuries are still his biggest concern. I can tell you right now. So right now we're looking at his 2018 Topps Chrome. This is his base. This is his refractor and his pink. We'll come down here. His base is at 300. His pink refractor is at almost 600. His regular refractor is at 740. These actually got a little higher than that. This got all the way up to 850. It's come down a little bit since then. So up, this is over the last 7 days, up 60%, 20%, and 7% on his main cards. This stuff, honestly, I think his stuff, if he did not have the injury concerns, would be a lot higher. What he is doing numbers wise is absolutely ridiculous. With the home runs, the pitching, the whole 9 yards. The biggest thing is the injury concerns, because as we all know, pitchers are not very safe to invest in, and he also hits. So 2 times the stats, 2 times the injury risk, 2 times the upside, 2 times the downside. That being said, the reason why I bought the Ohtani purple was because I wanted one nice Ohtani card, just in case he can actually do this. I just wanted one nice one to set aside and kind of not do anything with, and just kind of have a piece of the action and go along for the ride. I had the pink PSA 10 at one point in time. Just a standard pink refractor. I bought it on Star Stock, sent it home, made like $150 on it, $100 on it. I don't remember exactly. Sold it and moved on to the next thing. I kind of wish I still had that card. It was the right play at the time. This is one of those don't confuse the outcome with the decision type things. It was the right decision at the time. I stand by that. It was, in my opinion, if you were into him cheap and made a ton of money on him and sold at the start of the season, you can't kick yourself for that, because look at how many guys have gone down since the start of the season. And once again, he was one injury away from it all falling apart. Now, you could say that about anybody, but you take your money, you take your profits, you move on to the next thing. The beauty was, if you had a bunch of Ohtani, you probably got into it for nothing. You probably made a killing, and maybe you held on to a couple if you had that much of them. That's the beauty of buying in multiples. You could take your profits and also roll the dice. We talked about that with Sam and Dakota yesterday, because Sam had a really good, from Women of the Hobby, had a really good Olympic play. I won't spoil it. You can check out the stream over there if she talks about it on her channel. That she has multiples of the card. We were talking about timing the market to sell now or closer to the Olympics. And she has multiples, so she could sell leading up to the Olympics. Lock in profit now. If it keeps going up, lock in more profit. If it keeps going up, lock in more. If it goes down, no big deal. She already locked in a bunch from earlier. So, but what Ohtani is doing is absolutely nuts. I'm hoping to have a special guest on. I've reached out. We've chatted. We just need to schedule it. But I'll probably be dropping a long form baseball video later this week with another content creator. That is one of my go-tos when it comes to baseball content. So you might be able to guess, but I hope to have him on later this week. We do not have a date scheduled yet for that, but it'll probably be early this week, and then posting middle of the week sometime. But I am very excited and looking forward to sitting down with this person to have a nice chat about the wonderful game of baseball, because I've spent more money on baseball cards in the last month than I have anything else. And that's including a LeBron Topps Chrome purchase. So a lot of it will depend on if this My Slabs card gets here with no issues. So stay tuned for that one. Last but not least, because this video is running very long, but we had a lot of things to talk about. Football. I did not pull any specific charts or graphs for this. I'm just looking at price movements by card, last 7 days, PSA 10s, sorted by number of sales. A couple things that I notice here. Not a lot of action. The number one card sold with 18 sales. Once again, PSA 10s only. And it has to be in market movers, which is most stuff now, to be fair. Market movers over 100,000 cards now. Justin Herbert, PSA 10 Prism base. 18 of them sold in the last week. Second place, Daniel Jones at 16. Herbert, Mosaic at 15. The big thing to take away here is, what do you see? A lot of red. Baker Mayfield base Donruss is up quite a bit, question mark. So the top half of this is pretty red. You scroll down here, you get to a little green. Dwayne Haskins, Barry Sanders, Joe Burrow, Drew Lock, Justin Herbert. That's his optic hollow. And Russell Wilson stuff going up slightly. That seems pretty cheap for Russell Wilson, PSA 10s. That's regular tops, not tops chrome. But regardless, football market not showing signs of life yet, at least over the last 7. For comparison's sake, so 18 is the leading number in NFL sales. Let's look at basketball really quick. So football, the leader in the clubhouse was what, 16 or 18? Here's the leader in the clubhouse in NBA, 112 Trae Youngs by a lot. Second place, LeBron 2019 Prism Base. Then Luka, second year. Zion, 45. So an off-season Zion on a dip has had 45 sales compared to the football market. Let's look up baseball really quick. What's number 1? Oh, our boy Wander Franco, 145 sales over the last 7 days, followed by Tatis. That's his paper at 93. Wander Franco paper prospects at 84. We didn't talk about that one, but that one's down 15% in the last 7. Juan Soto up or 58, so on and so forth. And then once again, we bounce back to football, and not a lot. 18 and 16 are the top 2. So not a lot of sales over the last week in football stuff, and market's still in the red in general. I'm generalizing a little bit there. Real quick, what card has gone down the most? Aaron Rodgers and Patrick Mahomes. 2005 tops, and Mahomes optic base is down $80, down to 1,700. What card is up the most? Justin Herbert optic hollow up $131. By far the biggest up in regards to dollar change. Percentage changes get weird sometimes. Baker paper down rest is number 1, and that same Herbert optic hollow. So long story short, the football market is still a little stagnant right now. So that's all I have for you guys and girls today. Like, comment, subscribe. They've both been on Sunday Spotlight again, but I will shout them both out again. Go check out the video from yesterday with special guests Sam from Women of the Hobby and Dakota from Sports Cards Anonymous. Go check out their channels as well. If you're not already subscribed to them, you should be. They both put out fantastic content. I can tell you both of them will probably be a guest on the channel for a more formal sit-down video, kind of like what I did with Hannah from She Collects Cards. Sam is attending the Prism God show in Atlanta in a couple weeks, and Dakota is going to the Dallas card show, which is the same weekend as Atlanta, which is 2 weeks before the National. So I'm going to have them both on again. If I can coordinate it, I might have them on together, or we'll do it in 2 separate individual videos and compare and contrast the 2 different shows going on. So they are going to be our eyes and ears on the ground for those 2 shows, and we will get some good information from them about the vibes. I am very curious about the Atlanta show because this is first time for that one. So go check out their channels, like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't. Tomorrow for Marvel Monday, we will probably be talking X-Men metal stuff again, kind of going through some single sales, where the pricing's at on single cards, that sort of stuff, box prices, all that. And then I would like to get back into some comic book shenanigans the week after, but tomorrow will probably be more X-Men metal talk since that's still fresh. So that's all I got for you guys and girls. Like, comment, sub. Catch you on the next one. Peace.